Welcome to week 7 of Explore the Bible. We're continuing in the book of Jeremiah. Today we'll be in chapter 29. I think we'll probably have a verse in there that looks pretty familiar to you, but maybe we'll see context on it that helps you understand, maybe shapes how you look at that verse as we go forward. Before we dive into the passage, be sure and subscribe if you haven't. Hit that little button down there, that subscribe button, so you'll get a notification every week when the video comes up. And then also like. Appreciate it when you like, when you share it with others. And if you've got questions or comments or thoughts, put those in the comments below. We love that. Love to respond to those. All right, before we do that, before we look, give.exposedtochrist.com. That way you can support our ministry, the teaching and the mission work that we do. So anybody wants to do that, we love it if you do that as well. Okay, Jeremiah 29, let's go. This is the text of the letter that the prophet Jeremiah sent from Jerusalem to the remaining exiled elders, the priests, the prophets, and all the people Nebuchadnezzar had reported from Jerusalem to Babylon. This was after King Jeconiah, the queen mother, the court officials, the officials of Judah and Jerusalem, the craftsmen and the metalsmiths had left Jerusalem. He sent the letter with Elisah, son of Shaphan, and Gemariah, son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent to Babylon to King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon. The letter stated, okay, setting the context for us. The nation of Israel, the city of Jerusalem, is under siege by King Nebuchadnezzar. Many people have already been taken captive, exiled to Babylon. Okay, so they've already been taken. Nebuchadnezzar has deported them from Jerusalem to Babylon. So Jeremiah is still in Jerusalem, along with the king still there, and others are there, but many people have left. And so now Jeremiah sends a letter from Jerusalem to the remaining exiled elders. Okay, he's sending it to the others and to all the people that had been deported. So here's what the letter says. This is what the Lord of armies, the God of Israel, says to all the exiles I deported from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat their produce. Find wives for yourselves and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and give your daughters to men in marriage so that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there, do not decrease. Pursue the well-being of the city I have deported you to. Pray to the Lord on its behalf, for when it thrives, you will thrive. Okay, this is not the letter they expected to get. And I want you to point out some things from this, okay? He's, in essence, sending to them, here's what God has to say to you. You're in Babylon. Here's what the Lord says to you, okay? And I want you to see some things. One, I deported you. He says it here, I deported you. We go back. This says Nebuchadnezzar had deported them. But as far as the Lord was concerned, he had sent them. He had sent them into exile. Nebuchadnezzar saw this as his work. God was using the pagan Nebuchadnezzar to accomplish his work in Jerusalem because the people were in rebellion against God. And he's telling, there are prophets all around telling the people, hey, it's only going to be a little while. It'll be a couple of months. It might be a few years, and then you're going to be back, and all this is going to be over. So don't worry about it, And Jeremiah says that is not what the Lord says. What the Lord says to you is build houses and live. Plant your gardens. Find wives for yourselves. Then for the next generation, find wives for the next generation, right? So that they may bear sons. He says, multiply there, do not decrease. The Lord says, you're going to be there. You need to settle in and make your life. Build your houses. Don't rent, buy. You're going to be there, okay? You're going to be there for a long time. Plant your gardens, Planting the garden says, well, we're going to be here at least for the season, right? But find the wives for yourselves, but also for your children. So there's going to be generations that are going to be here. So you need to settle in and realize you're going to be there a while. So live there, he says, multiply, don't decrease. Don't just kind of shrivel up thinking, well, we're going to be out of here in a couple of days or a couple of months or a couple of years, whatever. You need to go ahead and live out your lives, have your kids, have your kids, marry your kids off to other people's, other Jewish kids, right? This whole thing, right? But then look at this, pray or pursue the well-being of Babylon and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for when it thrives, you will thrive. Hey, that place where you are, you may not like it. It's not Jerusalem. It's not the place you wanted to be. It's not where you hoped you would be at this point in time, but that's where you are. So live there. Pray that things go well there, because if it goes well there for others, it goes well there for you. So you want to pray for its benefit. Pray that it thrives and you will thrive. This is where you're going to be. Settle in. This is your life now. Well, it's a hard message because they love that false hope. Oh, we're going to get out of this. And Jeremiah is speaking directly against that false hope to tell them, you're going to be there. So you need to go ahead and enjoy it. Then, this is what the Lord of armies, the God of Israel, says. Do not let your prophets who are among you and your diviners deceive you, and don't listen to the dreams you elicit from them, for they are prophesying falsely to you in my name. I have not sent them. This is the Lord's declaration. You know, these people that you pay to get the story from are going to tell you what you're paying for. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to please you because then you'll pay them more money to hear from them again. And he says, don't listen to them. I have not sent them. They are not from me. For this is what the Lord says. When 70 years for Babylon are complete, I will attend to you and will confirm my promise concerning you to restore you to this place. For I know the plans I have for you. This is the Lord's declaration. Plans for your well-being, not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. You will call to me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. Now, I bet a lot of us, we know that Jeremiah 29:12, don't we? But look, he tells them, you're going to be in Babylon for 70 years, right? And then I'm going to come and I'm going to confirm my promise and I'm going to restore you to this place. But you're going to be there. For I know what I have planned for you, right? Plans for your well-being, plans for your future, for a hope, not for disaster, right? You're going to call to me and you're going to pray to me and I'm going to answer. I'm going to hear you. But you need to live where you are now. And understand that maybe this is the plan I have for you, because it is. You know, if you're in that first generation that went to Babylon, God's plan for you is to live there the rest of your life until you die, and you will not live to see Jerusalem again. And this is my plan for you. Now, I just tell you, I think when we read this verse, you know I have the plans for you. When we read this, verse 12, we love to think about, well, that means God's going to give me a great future and things are going to happen just the way I want to. And that is not what that verse means. That verse means that God knows his plans and that his plans are best, and we need to settle in and agree with them and live our lives in a way that honors him wherever we are and whatever is happening. We need to be content with his plan, because his plan is best. Right? His plan is best. His plan is not to bring disaster, but his plan is his plan and not ours, and his plan is right. And we need to settle into that. And this is a hard thing for us, I think, because we love to think that everything kind of revolves around us, right? And that God's going to make everything good for us, and that's just not true. There were people that read this letter who saw, this is in the letter, right, where he tells them, go ahead and build your house. You're going to be there 70 years. You need to plan not only for your marriage, but for your children's marriage. And you need to raise your family there and pray that things go well in Babylon, because if it does, then it'll be good for you. This is a hard message to hear for them, but this is one they needed to hear. And boy, certainly it's true for us too, right? We need to hear sometimes, look, that may not be the place you want to be, but that's the place you are. That's where God has you now. So live your life to the full where you are and let him take care of the details. He knows his plan. He's got a plan for your life. He's going to do what he wants to do, what he needs to do through you and in you. So be content with that. It's a tough one, right? But I think it's a great passage. And so I hope it's a great study for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for teaching. Those of you that are teachers, God bless you for that. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down there. Like, comment. If you've got questions, share with others. Appreciate it if you'll share it all around if you can. All right, we'll see you next time.